Hey guys, Sophia here with Turquoise Toffee, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2024 IFBB Pro League Vancouver Pro. We've got bikini, figure, and fitness results. So exciting to see some new names added to the Olympia lists, and also particularly exciting because I've seen a few of these girls compete in regional shows as amateurs. So really awesome to watch the new pro careers blossom. So cool. Okay, now speaking of Olympia, of course, last year's top three are automatically qualified, and then the winner of each division is also going to be qualified. So that top first place girl gets her ticket to Olympia. So let's begin with fitness. There were 5 competitors, so they all made it into the top 5. In first place, Tamara, second, Andrea, third, Abby, fourth, Jessica, and fifth, Danielle. And when you look closely at the scores, you'll see Tamara nailed it. She got first place in the judging, which is her physique, and she got first place in her routine, which is the finals there. So her score was so good, a clear and easy win for her. So amazing. Okay, but let's begin with Danielle in 5th place, and I think she looks stunning. She's like a buff mermaid. The color, that blue turquoise ombre suit, the wavy, gorgeous platinum hair, her skin, everything about her is flawless. I think she looks absolutely amazing. I love her 6-pack abs. Her lines are so symmetrical in her stomach. She's got beautiful shoulders, beautiful legs. Her definition is gorgeous. I love all this detail in her hip. Her delts are gorgeously outlined. Like, I just think she nailed it. She looks so good. I do think she needs to be careful with this back arm. I would play around with the placement of the hand here to try to maintain a bit more roundness in this delt. I think by having the palm facing the floor, she's kind of flattening her shoulder when I want to see more of the curviness to it. And at the end of the day, I think in the lineup, she could have more size. There could be more quad sweep, more lat spread. But my gosh, I think she looks really beautiful. She's posing so delicately on her toe. She looks just beautiful. There's a look at her routine. All right, next in 4th is Jessica. Amazing. She's doing exactly what I was just talking about with the posing of her hand here, maintaining a real nice shape to her back arm. Check out all of this muscle in the arms. And what it does is it really makes your eyes notice how wide she is across her collarbone. It's just highlights that V taper. She's got a nice lat, beautiful midsection, great ab definition. The obliques look sharp, great curve, and nice fullness to her glutes. She's got some good size to the quads, nice detail here in the hamstring. I do find, though, that the definition isn't quite matching. Like, belly button up, so many lines, so it's like striations, super cut. But I feel like the quads don't have as much of that detail. So if she could somehow swing it to have a little bit more definition come through on the quads, I think that would look amazing. And I would also relax this arm a little bit. I find that she's got her shoulder quite high. It's not having that round curvy shape to it. It's quite straight and making more of a point overall rather than like a gentle curve. There's no need for my eye to be drawn way out here. I think she could just kind of let the arm fall a little more gently, a little more curved. Don't block the glute, of course, but just play around with this posing to draw my attention more to the glutes rather than the elbow. But beautiful suit, nice hair. I like that her hair is totally off her shoulders. You see her delts, you see her traps, and you see her face. So very well done. There's a look at her routine. All right, next in 3rd place is Abby. Amazing. She's got an incredible X frame, extremely wide in her shoulders, extremely narrow in her waist, and really nice size in her glutes and legs. I think she's got a fabulous overall silhouette. Love the red lip with the red suit. Posing wise, I would try to pull this hand away from the glute. I know that we are at a different angle than the judges, so perhaps she was perfectly aligned for them, but obviously in this picture, the hand is covering the glute, and you don't want that because you want to see that full round shape. And then also, I feel like more detail. I think she needed more conditioning to really show off the detail in the legs. That line could have been a bit sharper, a bit more of the separation of those quads, just a little bit more of those lines showing off the different parts of the quads. I think her delt could have more of an outline, maybe a bit of six-pack abs, just a bit more definition from top to bottom, but she's got an amazing overall shape. Clearly, third place at the end of the day is phenomenal, and I think she's amazing. It's really awesome seeing her in the top 5, and she's awesome. There's a look at her routine. Now, in second place is Andrea. Holy smokes, her waist is tiny. My gosh, such a narrow midsection, beautiful. And her quads are awesome as well. Really nice sweep, great size, great curvy hamstring, nice size to her glutes. Just overall, fabulous shape. The pose I don't think is quite right. Again, maybe it's just the angle of the photographer versus the angle of the judges. She might be perfectly aligned for their vantage, but for us, I feel like this hand has to be way further back. The shoulder could come out a lot further out here, and then we would see more of her triangular shape because we'd be seeing more of this shoulder. So if this shoulder comes more forward, this one comes more back, we'd have a bit more of that wide straight line across the front, coming into the narrow waist, and then to this gorgeous glute. And of course, the hand would fall a little bit further back, and it wouldn't be covering her glute either. So maybe it looks a little different from a different angle, but in this photo, that is what I'm thinking. But my gosh, her waistline is so impressive. Her delts look amazing as well. Beautiful quad sweep. Overall, gorgeous. There's a look at her routine. And then in first place, untouchable Tamara. Wow, she's next level on every dimension. Her size, she's so muscular, so much width in her delts, in her lats. Her abs look super solid and strong. She's got a lot of size in her glutes. Her legs are nuts. And can we just get some recognition for this calf right here? Holy smokes. So cool. She looks incredible. Great detail from top to bottom, the lines in her legs, the outlining of her quads, the six-pack, the delts. She's posing perfectly. You see this great straight line across the top. So it's just wide and then down to the narrow part of her waist and then wide again. So you see that great V-taper. You see the curvy shape. She nailed it. The posing is fabulous. The back arm looks amazing. She's got great balance between the muscles in her arms and the muscles in her shoulders, the shoulders to the glute to the leg, the front of the leg to the back of the leg. Like everything looks amazing. Her suit is really pretty. It's a perfect color to go with the backdrop. It's delicate and interesting and feminine and pretty, and the curly hair, like everything. She nailed it. There's a look at her routine, and my gosh, her abs, insane. Okay, side by side, clear win for Tamara here. First, you see the shoulders and just how full and dense and round. Great shape. Then you notice the lats. No one comes close in the width and the density in those lats. Her spread is so wide. She's got great definition in her abs. I think some of the other girls definitely have a smaller midsection. Jessica, Danielle, Andrea, but Tamara's frame is gorgeous. She's got a good overall shape. She's got great definition. She's just so solid and muscular. And then her legs are awesome. A lot of size and a lot of detail. I think Jessica and Abby needed to have more definition in the legs when you compare them to these three athletes here. Danielle, I think, has some nice shape, really good curves, but not as much size as Tamara, not as much definition. Andrea has amazing size and really good definition in her lower body, but her upper body is not quite as impressive as Tamara. So I think it was an easy win for Tamara, particularly in this front pose. And then in the back pose as well, you can notice just how much size she has in the shoulders, right? When you look at the athletes on either side of her, not as much height, not as much fullness. The lats, her glutes are amazing, really well outlined, and a lot of size into the back of her legs. Danielle, I think, needs more size. Andrea, I think, could have had more definition, honestly, coming down into the back of the legs. Same with Jessica and Abby, just a bit more of that detail to really compare to Tamara. So a beautiful win for her. Fabulously done. So there she is, added to the list. Moving on to women's figure. In first place, Manon. Second, Gisele. Third, Mandy. Fourth, Peyton. And fifth, Ji Yoon. And a beautifully even score all throughout. Well done. So here's Ji Yoon in fifth place. Wow, what an outline. Her silhouette is gorgeous, extremely noticeable, and big round delts. Nice lat spread, tiny waist, and beautiful curves in her legs. I think her silhouette is just incredible. I do think she needed a bit more detail in the legs, in the quads, and certainly abs would have been nice if we could see like the six-pack definition. I even think she could have had like sharper lines outlining the delts. So just overall, a little bit more clear definition, I think, would have been fabulous. But I think her shape is spectacular. She's got a lot of width in the upper body, a great V-taper, a lot of curve to the lower body. Maybe she could play around a little bit with the placement of her toes. I might try having a little bit more turnout just so that you have a bit more roundness to the quad. I see the roundness a little better on this side than I'm seeing it on that side. Maybe we are at a little bit of an angle though, so that could be part of what I'm seeing in this photo. But yeah, a little more definition I think would have been killer, but I still think that overall she looked incredible. Next, in fourth place is Peyton. This is one of the athletes that I've seen. I've actually competed next to Peyton in a regional show, and I thought she was impressive then, and I think she's extremely impressive now. So very cool watching her develop into an amazing pro athlete, and she looks fabulous. Great lat spread, extremely impressive midsection. Her waist is so small. Her stomach is completely flat and smooth. Nice sweep to the quads here. I think she's got a good balance between the size in her upper body and the size in her lower body. But I do think she needed more detail to come through in the legs. You've got this nice teardrop shape here at the bottom of the quad, but I think more lines and like the clear different shapes of each individual part of the quad showing through in the legs would have been nice. So a little bit more of that definition in the legs. And I also feel like in this photo, the shoulders are not quite balanced. I'm seeing more roundness and curve to this delt than I'm seeing in this one. So that could just be a posing thing. I don't know. Maybe a little bit more roundness and size on this delt would be good just to make sure that they're both completely symmetrical, or it's just the one photo and a second later she had it. But overall, I think she does look amazing. The other thing I thought with the legs is maybe to try to have the knees come closer together and have less of a space here. I feel like if she could get more of the upper thighs pressed together, it would create just a look of more fullness and size in the legs. So right now it's like a curved shape here. So maybe playing with the placement of the toes just so that there's a little bit less emptiness and more of just like pure muscle pressing together. So a bit more conditioning, play around with the posing a bit, but overall her suit is stunning. I love the color combo. Her hair, her makeup, the jewels, the nails, like everything from top to bottom looks so polished and pretty, and she's amazing. Fantastic job. All right, next and third is Mandy. Whoa, those legs and those shoulders. Holy, so full, so round, and the gloss and the sheen are amazing. You see every distinct individual part of her quads. I love it. The definition is perfect. Great ab detail as well. I love the fit of her suit. It comes up so high and it really flatters the V shape. To me, you're seeing this width and beautiful curve to the delts, and your eye goes down her lats immediately to the suit and right to this part of the very middle of her suit before going back up again. And it's like, it's this arrow, it's this triangle shape. It is so spectacular. She looks so full, so wide, so round, so big. Unreal. And I also like the design on the suit. It draws my eyes up. Right? All these little arrows are pointing up to her delts, and her delts are incredible. They're full, they're wide, insane. I love the color of her lip. I think it's a great complement to the suit. Her tan is a beautiful color. She looks rich and dark, glossy in all the right places. I do think, though, I don't know how, her legs are so defined. I wouldn't mind if there was a little bit more sharpness in the lines outlining the delts. That is the only thing I can think of. I think she looks insane. Great, slick, smooth hair. It just draws all your attention to her smile and her delts, and her overall silhouette it's just crazy. It's so good. All right, in second place, Gisele. Wow, her waistline is nuts. She is so tiny in her midsection. Her ab definition is crazy. Her delts are huge compared to the midsection in particular. Like, her V taper is really impressive. Nice lats. She's not quite in the pose here. So if this were her pose, obviously I would tell her to relax the arms and really try to create a width with the lats, but she's not quite in it yet. And this was the best picture I could find. Her legs are super impressive as well, really round, lots of detail. I do think she could have had a little bit more gloss to really highlight some of the muscles in her legs. I find that the color is not quite as popping and rich as some of the other girls. Just a little bit more pizzazz to the skin tone I think would be good. And I definitely, in the lineup, noticed the fit of her suit. I definitely, absolutely think that the hips of her straps here, the connectors, need to come up way higher, like up to her waist, certainly at least to the belly button, if not a little higher. And the reason I say that is when I look at her physique, she's got a lot of torso. Great ab definition, but I lose some of the triangle and the X overall shape because she's so stretched in the midsection. And by having the suit low like this, it just highlights how much ab she has. And I feel that if the suit were up higher, right in the tiniest spot, my God, all you would see would be that V shape from here to here. And then her legs would look longer. And I think it would highlight the tininess of her waist. It would highlight the width of her upper body, and it would highlight the width of her lower body. Right now, it's cutting her off at the hips. Maybe you'll agree with me, comment below, but I think you see it more in the lineup photo when you see the way the other girls' suits fit. So that is my biggest suggestion for Gisele. A little more pizzazz in the tan, a little more gloss, and just pull up the suit straps a little more. All right, now in first place, Manon. Oh my gosh, she is nuts. The width in her delts, the fullness, the roundness, the lat spread is so dense. She's got a tiny midsection with great definition and crazy legs. The quad sweep. This is exactly what I mentioned before on another athlete. There is no space in between her legs. It's just muscle. It's this tiny little gap between her knees, and that's it. She's so full, so dense. The quad sweep is really beautifully balanced with the delts. So you see the curve and then right back to the curve and so much definition. Each part of her quad is really nicely outlined. She's glossy. There's highlight. Gorgeous. Maybe it's just the lighting, but I feel like she could have a little bit more darkness in the tan up top to really match with the bottom. But that's it. Her suit is lovely. Her hair is very feminine and pretty. Posing looks great. She looks symmetric. She looks balanced. Wow. Okay, here's the lineup photo. Insane. Manon really stands out for those shoulders. They're really round and high. Giselle's waistline, of course, is spectacular, but do you see what I mean about the fit of her suit being more low on her hips? And it does highlight how long her torso is rather than showing off the V-taper. If these straps came up a little more here, I think it would be a really good visual impact of that V shape. Mandy's spectacular width in the lat spread, but she doesn't quite have as much height on the shoulders as we see from Manon. Ji-yoon, beautiful shoulders, great overall silhouette, but I think both Ji-yoon and Peyton don't quite have as much detail coming through in the quads like we see in the top three. Peyton looks fabulous, really nice midsection. She could certainly have a bit more size overall when you compare her to Manon, but for her own frame, I think she's got a really great amount of balance between the top and the bottom. Ji-yoon, beautiful abs. Just everybody looks spectacular, but I think Manon, she's so full, she's so big, and so cut. Like the detail is crazy. And from behind, nobody comes close to Manon's glutes. They are large, they are full, they are bursting, and they are so beautifully outlined. The glute ham tie-in is spectacular. She's got great quads. She's got a nice small waist and so much fullness into her back. But what really gets me is how much curve and height she gets in her delts. I think Peyton has some fabulous curve to the delts in this back pose here. Her hair is almost obstructing the side of the second delt. I don't know if there's anything you can do about that, but wow, everybody, like Ji-yoon's delts really pop as well. Mandy, you see, doesn't quite have as much height and roundness, but she's got a lot of width. I think her back is really impressive. Ji-yoon's back is really impressive. Giselle could have a little bit more roundness, I think, to her glutes when you have Mandy and Manon beside her. But Manon, my gosh, those glutes and the fullness and 3D in her back, oh, it's incredible. What a great top five. So, of course, there she is added to the list. And now women's bikini. In first place, Ashley. Second, Jewel. Third, Brianna. Fourth, Tiana. And fifth, Sarah. So here is Sarah in fifth place in a beautiful red suit. Nice quads. I really like this curve she has on her back leg. She's got a good size in her glute, though I do think she could have a bit more curve to the top of the glute right here, just to kind of fill in this area. Nice definition as well coming into the quad here. This good groove in her hip, great obliques, nice flat midsection, and a really nice overall, like her triangular shape. She's got that good lat. She's got some nice curve to the delts. A really lovely silhouette. I do think she could relax this arm a little lower and not have it going quite so far out to the side and the back. Just to bring your eye a little more in rather than pulling my eye outwards. So that's kind of it. I think her physique looks really great. A little more size onto the glute, but her posing looks nice. Her shoulder here looks really lovely. Not lots of nice curves to the delts. I would maybe try to have a bit more contrast with the color of the hair and the color of the tan, either a brighter blonde or a little darker. I would just want to have a bit more pop. Maybe even a red lip would be enough to really just brighten up and break up and create a little more contrast in her look. But overall, I think she looks stunning. Great overall fifth place for her. Okay, next in fourth is Tiana. Beautiful blue suit, looks lovely with the backdrop. She's got really nice fullness and roundness in her legs in particular. I love this outlining, this curve she has in her quad. Nice quad sweep here, good definition right in this teardrop shape. Nice fullness in her hamstrings as well. She's got a nice oblique, a flat tummy. I like the shoulders here. I think she's got some fabulous size, and she's doing a really great job of keeping them level, but I don't love how low her hand is here. I would raise this up a little closer to the belly button just so that my eye is drawn more to the smallest part of her waist rather than being pulled down to her hip. I also find that this arm, it is pulling down. I don't know what she could do. Maybe she could try to pull up a little more in the chest, pull the shoulder more backwards, kind of twist open a bit more, really almost like she's trying to show off her clavicle. I think that would be good just to open up the upper body and make us see that triangular shape a little bit more. She's got beautiful curve to the glute. I really like the balance in the glute size with her quads and lovely conditioning. She's got a nice softness and roundness in the legs, great chiseled oblique, and overall just lovely. Really pretty, nice hair. Love the colors and the tan. She's beautiful. All right, next is Brianna in third place. I have competed in a few shows that Brianna was also competing in, and I've seen her in person as an amateur, so it is so cool to see her as a pro doing so well. Third place, that's amazing. She looks nuts, like super lean, extremely athletic looking, very defined in the quads, vascular. She's got a lot of outlining of the delts. I think she has to be careful that she's not overly lean and hard. They like a little bit of that soft look in bikini, so she's got to be careful that she doesn't go too far with the conditioning. I love this groove she has here in her hip. I think the line coming down her quad looks amazing. She's maintained a really nice sweep to this back leg as well. She's posing really well to show that off. I do think that she also could raise this hand a little higher rather than highlighting her hip. I would want her to pull it up so that my eye is drawn more to her waistline rather than the lower part of her torso. And I do feel that she could try to get a little bit more curve right in this part right here in the glute. I feel that there's a bit of a dip. And just a little bit more roundness and fullness would be really nice for the overall silhouette. But I think she looks stunning. Great red suit, beautiful hair, beautiful tan, nice and rich and dark, and so impressed that she is doing so well right out of the gate. All right, now in second place is Jewel. This is exactly what I mean about bikini having a little bit of a softness to it. She is by no means soft. She's extremely hard, a tiny waistline, great outlining of her delts. Like she's lean, she's got obliques, she's got nice definition around her quads, but to me she still looks really soft and pretty and round in her legs, in her glutes, in her delts. The hair is soft and pretty, like everything about her. I'm just loving her overall silhouette. It's just curve of the delt, tiny waist, huge curve to the glute, nice softness to the back of her leg, and just delicate toe. She looks healthy, she looks vibrant, she looks so beautiful and pretty. I think everything about her looks amazing, and I'm extremely impressed by her tiny waistline. She's posing really well to show off how small her waist is, but also the nice largeness and roundness in her delts. I would maybe want to pull this delt a little further out just so that the delt is really shown off on the side and you get a nice balance of the delt out here and the glute out here. I don't want her to be too narrow in the upper body compared to this extremely impressive glute. But overall, stunning. And the suit color is gorgeous. It's very rich and luxurious, and I think she looks very elegant. All right, and now in first place, huge surprise, just kidding. Ashley in first, amazing. Another win on her belt. She looks great. She really, in this show in particular, has that triangular shape in her upper body. I think she does the best job with the posing, and she's really got a good balance between her upper size, the delt, and the glute. So I'm noticing that width coming in. I follow the line of her lat to her midline. Her waistline is nice and small. I see this triangle shape with the way she's posing, her back arm, the elbow, everything just draws my eyes to this triangle shape in her upper body. Then when I look at her lower body, fabulous shape to her glute. I love always the little dip she gets right at the bottom before her hamstring. Great curves, nice fullness in the legs. Stunning. I do feel like I'm not quite seeing that line coming down her quad like I typically see. So maybe it's just the lighting here. The tan doesn't look as like brown as usual. It's got almost a yellowiness to it. So I'm wondering if it's just the photo. But overall, I think she looks amazing. Beautiful red lip, great green suit, and I love the sleek, shiny hair. It's glossy, it's bold. Amazing. She looks fabulous. All right, so here's everyone side by side, and I definitely think you see that triangle shape on Ashley the best. She's got really level shoulders, and the lat is shining and a nice midsection. Jewel beside her has an even smaller waistline, but she's not quite getting that triangle shape as well as Ashley. One problem, I think, is this shoulder in the back is higher than this one. I think she needs to pull up and open a little bit more, and then she'd really have that width to the upper body. Here's where I feel like when you look at Brianna compared to the others, a little bit more lean. You've got vascularity. You've got a lot of lines, a little rib. I think the other girls, particularly first and second, have a bit more fullness and roundness, a little bit more curve. Sarah, I think, actually, Sarah could have a little bit more size here in the glute when you compare her to Ashley, for example. But overall, I think she looks really quite lovely, nice curves in her legs. And Tiana has a gorgeous conditioning. I think she's got really nice fullness. The quad sweep looks great. But again, I feel that she's not quite opening up her upper body enough to really show off that triangle shape like you see on Ashley. And also, now that I look at it, I feel like Tiana, this line on her suit could be a little higher. It could come up a little more rather than sitting lower on her hip. Amazing. All right, from behind, crazy good. Brianna and Jewel really both have some nice size to their glutes. Jewel in particular has some great height on the top. I think Brianna has some really nice roundness to the sides of her glutes. Ashley has a really good balance though between the size of the glute and the size of the delt. You really notice the narrow waistline and just that overall hourglass shape. I think Tiana could have had a bit more detail in her tie-ins. Sarah, I think, could have had a bit more size in the delts here, a bit more definition. Brianna's delts look awesome, same with Jewel. But Ashley, to me, had the most visible hourglass shape when you see the tiny waist and just that nice balance in the delt to the leg and the glute. Gorgeous. So, of course, Ashley was already qualified, and I've got more recaps coming your way. So make sure you subscribe, give me a like if you like this video, comment your thoughts below, and come find me. I'm on Instagram at turquoise toffee.